Tripod Loop's coming at you right now. So doing a little beginner video here for just about anybody that's new to Arma Reforger. There seems to be a lot of new guys not really going through the tutorial, just hopping in and have no idea what they're doing. So just going to go over some basics here and get you all set up so you at least have a fundamental basis to start on. So first thing you do when you load in, you pick a server. Obviously, you're going to pick a side. You're stuck with whatever side you choose. We're just going to do America here. I'm going to go on my own. We're going to load in. So here's your map at the very beginning. So at the very start, all you have is your main operating base that you can spawn at. Now to go over the map real quick here in the beginning, you're going to see these red lines that are branching out from these objectives. Those are your communication lines. So you get in, we're going to go through this, I'm going to show you. But just real quick, if you don't have the red lines connected, for example, over here, notice how I click on it, no red lines. Same here, no red lines. That means you cannot capture those. They're not part of your setup. So you have to capture things in order. Now, your main objectives are to go after these purple ones, such as, like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Indiana, Kansas. These all stay the same. These are your main capture points, all of these purple ones. If they're not in purple for you, for example, like Military Hospital, Coastal Base Lament, and Coastal Base Morton, along with the other ones. So if you're colorblind, that's okay. Just so long as you see these that I go on to them, you're going to understand. The other thing, since I'm on this map, that I see a lot of people do for some reason is over the radio. They go, hey, let's go down to Coastal Base Lament, or let's go capture Levy or Province. Everybody, always use the code names. The code names are the states. The state names get reorganized on every match. The main reason you want to do that is the enemy can get a hold of our radios, vice versa. We can get a hold of theirs and listen in. So if you're saying, hey, let's go to Province, let's go to Fagari, they're going to know exactly where you're going. Always use the state names, such as New York, Mississippi, Oklahoma. At least then, they're going to have no idea what you're talking about. All right, so first things first here, you're going to get here. Another thing I can show you real quick. If you look on the right-hand side of your screen here where my soldier is, notice how it says default loadout. Once you make your custom loadout, you're going to have a little gear right here, and you're going to have two of these to pick from. Sometimes, once you make your custom loadout, you're not going to be able to spawn in places if they don't have enough supplies. We're going to go over that too here shortly. How do you know if it has enough supplies? Right at the bottom there, where it says Lemuel, you see how it says 969 and 8,300? Now it's climbing up, 972. Those are your supplies. If you don't, let's say it only said 50 and your loadout takes 100, you're not going to be able to spawn there. You can only use the default loadout. The default loadout, so long as you own the objective, will allow you to spawn there regardless of how many supplies. So let's get started. In the very beginning here, the first place you can spawn in is main operating base. Let's do it. One of the first mistakes that I see over and over again that people make when they first spawn in to their main operating base is right away they want to go build these ammo depots. That's a horrible idea. Stop doing it. And I'm sure you've been yelled at a few times where people, hey, why are you doing an ammo loadout? We need resources. What are you doing? They're 100% right. Your first thing should be to hop in one of the two Humvees or the truck and take off to take one of your main bases first. If by chance you can get one of these main operating bases over here, the main capture points like Oklahoma, these are your first targets. A lot of times, though, you may have to cap like Vermont or Virginia, just to give you examples, in order to link up the red lines, once again, your communications, with one of these main capture points. Once you get one of these main capture points, you're pretty much going to have unlimited resources. You're going to be able to do your loadouts, all of that. So first capped, whatever base is going to get you linked up with one of these main capture points. Then, once you get one of these main capture points, you can go from there. So, let's do it. Going to show you a couple other things here. We're going to run over here. I'm going to show you how to use these boards. A lot of people don't understand how to use these boards. We're going to run some loadouts over, or some supplies over, excuse me. just to give you a sense of how to do this. I don't want to piss these guys off too much. Somebody's here. Let him do his thing. While he's doing that, I'm going to show you guys the loadouts. Very important. If you're using more than 170 supplies, you've got way too much crap. Okay, your loadout should never be more than 170. And that's me being generous. I'm just going to run over here real quick. I don't want to give out too much information, confuse people too quickly, so we're just going to do this. This isn't the best way of doing it. You can exchange your gear in. But just for time's sake, I'm going to drop that stuff and show you how to do it. So I'm going to run over to this box first. I like to use a machine gun. So first thing I'm going to do, obviously you press square. Whether you want a backpack, whatever your gear may be. So grab that. I always recommend about 5 bandages, at least 2 morphines, an IV, a wrench, and a flashlight. And of course, you always want your shovel, your map, and your radio, which are right over here. So there's your radio, there's your compass, there's your map, and a watch. I do like to have a watch. That's optional, but I do like to have a watch, just so I can see what time it is. So for example, I can open up the map, hit my left directional button, and go down to my watch, pop it out, slide this over, hold R3 on PS5, release it, and now I can see what time it is. It's 7 o'clock at night. It's going to be dark soon. I can double tap down, pull out my compass, and I know it's nighttime because the sun sets in the west. Hit triangle, put it away. If I hold my right directional button, this brings up my quick wheel. I can use my right toggle, select a grenade, and now I got a grenade ready. I can hold L2, zoom in a little bit, decide where I want to throw it, tap R2, pull the pin, throw it. Boom! Now my grenade's out. That's how you do it for smoke and everything else. Same thing. Hold your right directional button, select your bandages. If I was wounded, hold R2. That's the basics for your quick wheel. Same with the flashlight. You can double tap up. That turns on the flashlight without pulling it out. As you can see, it's on. Double tap it, it turns it off. Oh, wait. There we go. Sorry. I was looking at it. Anyways, back over here. So you can select your guns. Like I said, I like machine guns. Oh, but I need to show you. So actually, I'm going to select a rifle here real quick. Let's do a carbine. So we're going to throw a carbine on. I'm going to get a law, grab a couple extra magazines, hit R1, grab a couple colored smokes for helicopter pickup. I like a bunch of grenades and some regular smoke for cover. Here's the flares if you're using a grenade launcher, which I have on here. So here's the flares. I'm going to grab one of these just to show you guys how to do this as well. I'm going to grab a red dot, and I'll show you how to equip your stuff. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the most basic way. So you can hold triangle, look at where you want to equip it, hold square, and now my red dot is attached. There you go. Boom. Hold L2, and now I'm looking at my red dot. I can also open up my inventory, which I'm going to show you here. Let me grab something so I can show you how to do it this way too, just in case. What else can I throw on here? How about a bayonet? Throw a bayonet there. I don't know if I can put one on here. Maybe. Anyways, you're going to hit your right directional button, open up your inventory, press X, go down to the bayonet, select it, go down to the weapon that you want to attach it to, press X again, and it'll attach it to the weapon. I can't pull it on here because I have a grenade launcher, but you get the point. Now, how do I use my grenade launcher? Hold your left directional button. Boom. Aim it, or don't. You can shoot it either way. Boom. Got one off. Very nice. Very nice. Now, I want to put my night flare in there. Same thing. I'm going to go over to it. I'm going to select it. I'm going to go down to it. Press X, and you can see it. It loaded in my flare. Now, saying boom. My flare's out. Boom. You can see it there glowing. That's how that works. All right, so that's the basics. Hit triangle to go over to your law or your secondary, whatever you like. Boom, it's ready to go. Same principle. I'm going to go back to the rifle. We're good to go. Those are your basics there. For your weapons, how to attach them, how to use them, all that good things. Boom, back there. So same thing. Hold the left directional, use it. If you want to go back to your sights, hold the left directional, back to it. There you go. All right, back to what I was saying here about supplies. So we're just going to get a little Jeep here. Not going to get too crazy. That's, oh, yeah, you go up to the board, press square, hold square, sorry, and select the vehicle. Same thing. Everything's based off of supplies. As you can see in the bottom right corner, it tells you how many supplies it costs to use the vehicle. And right here tells you how many supplies you have on hand. There you go. I put out the vehicle. Now, we're going to hop in. I'm actually going to show you something real quick on the map here after I stop sliding. R2 to start it up, triangle to shut it off. You can also do it just by looking at the dash, turn it on, however you want to do it. That, you know, doesn't really make a difference. Circle to get out, square to get in. Just look at the seat. If you hold your options button, you can go into third person. Hold your options button again, you can go into first person. Now, supplies. People ask a lot about this. You zoom in on your map here. I'm currently at Vermont. I can see right here sawmill. This green circle indicates there's supplies. That's how you know where you can get supplies. Now, you can also take supplies from your base if you have an abundance of supplies. And this base has only just under 400, so we're not going to take from here. We're going to drive down to the supply depot and see about getting some supplies. I'm going to show you how to do this. Very important are the supplies. This should be pretty much the first thing you're doing when you, after you get a main base, one of the main capture points that's in purple that I showed you earlier, you should always, from that main base, load up a vehicle with supplies and head off to your next base. This way, when you cap that base, the first thing you can do is put down a radio relay. I'm going to show you how to do that. Right now, I'm just showing you a basic supply run. Every vehicle has a different amount of supplies that you can put into it. Hopefully there's not an enemy here and we can just do this real quick. I don't see any enemy. Ah, oh, there is. Oh no, I may die! Oh no, back up! Okay. I'll show you another way you can get supplies as well. We're not going to mess around with that just for time's sake. I value your time and I don't want to take a bunch of your time up. Inside most towns, here's a fun fact, the little secret a lot of people don't know. There are hidden supplies within towns. The best places to look for these hidden supplies are in garages and farms. So, we're going to see if we get lucky here. If I can actually get through this wood fence. Open up this garage and see if there's any supplies. If not, maybe we can try the barn and see if there's any supplies there. Then I'm going to show you guys how to build. No supplies here. How do you know if there's supplies? Because it's not on the map? Well, I'm going to show you. It's going to be the brown boxes is how you're going to know. Also, when you're in a vehicle, whether it's a helicopter, a Jeep, a Humvee, whatever, if you just tap up, your headlights are going to come on. You can see it in the bottom left corner. Now it's green. If you hold your up button and it turns blue in the bottom left corner there, that now means your high beams are on. So you have your extra bright lights are on. It's not quite dark yet, so I'm going to shut off my high beams, shut off my regular lights. See if there's any supplies in here. If not, I may just run back over to base. Aha, there's some supplies here. How do you know? Here's what the supplies look like, and they also have this box that you can open up. Perfect. So now let's pull this Humvee in, and I'm going to show you how to do a couple different things with your vehicles here. Now, all vehicles that load in, I pressed triangle, killed it. The engine, this way I know it's off. You look at the back here. You can open up the trunk. This is where you can keep extra ammo, extra supplies, extra whatever you need for your journey. Automatically, in all vehicles, there's extra bandages, as you can see here, and a little bit of fuel. That little, it's literally like 5% of fuel or less. It's just enough if you run out of gas to maybe make it to a fuel station, gas station, wherever. There's also a wrench in them. So that's good. That's good to know. That's how you open your trunk. Now, how do I load the supplies? Well, you just look at the back. I press down with my directional button. I hold square, and now I have loaded supplies. Now, like I stated earlier, all vehicles hold a different amount of supplies. Now, we're going to go ahead and take our supplies. You can also visually see I now have supplies in the vehicle. Now we're going to take these back over to the base. Plow through everything here, of course. And I'm going to show you how to offload these as well as build now. Show you all the basics for that good stuff. So now you're going to pull right up next to your main command tent here. I'm going to kill the engine. I'm also going to put the brake on just to make sure it doesn't go rolling away on me. Use handbrake. Boom. And same way I loaded these, I'm going to unload them. As you can see, it says unload. Now, sometimes it's glitchy, which then what you need to do is come over to the sign, select the vehicle, and offload them this way, which then would be to select. You'll end up moving your supplies over to the brown supply boxes. I'm just going to do it this way because it's the easiest. You look down at it, hold square, unload. Now, how do I build something? Come into your main tent here. Your main tent here, as you can see, start building. The first thing you ever want to do when you first capture a base is do your radio relay station. Just select it, press X, find a place to put it. Also, if you hold R1 or L1, you can spin these around and place them any way you want to make it pretty. Now, there are certain things on here, such as living quarters and helicopter pads, where you must reach the rank of sergeant. Another fun fact, your rank resets at the start of every game. So once, let's say, this Americans won this match, we start a new one, my rank resets. And the next thing as of right now is lieutenant. Lieutenant you need in order to get a gunship, a helicopter with guns on it. Otherwise, sergeant is the most basic one that you need right now in order to get like a helicopter, build the helipads, also call in extra AI to guard the bases. So, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hold your right directional button, go to your shovel. First, as you can see, when you don't have your shovel out, all you have are these little stakes once you place it. Once you hold your right directional pad, select your shovel, now you can see the outline of whatever it is that you placed. In this example, we placed the radio relay. This is the first thing you want to build whenever you capture a base. Your loadout should always be at best second, I would even say third. I would say the second thing that you should always build is a light vehicle depot. This way you can hop in a vehicle, take off, and go help anybody, be able to get places in order to capture more bases. And now by building the radio relay, you also hook up your communications. Another fun fact is if you go outside of this area where all your red lines are, let's say you get on a helicopter or you drive way over here, you're not going to have any radio communication with anybody over here, other than maybe your immediate squad. Now, communication. In order to talk in proximity chat, tap L1. As you can see on the left side of my screen, my speaker popped up. Anybody within, I don't know, a 15, 20 foot, maybe even a little bit more than that radius, could hear me talking if they were near me. If I hold L1, that now 48 megahertz, as you can see, would be platoon. If I hold it again and press circle, now I'm at 39. That's my squad. How do I know? I hit star options button, go to group menu, and this shows me right under the group name what frequency everybody's at. Atlas Red 1, 38, 38.5. I am at 39 megahertz. Now, how do you change radio frequencies? I get that question a lot. Hold your L1, press square, use your right toggle, go up to it, and as you're holding it with your right toggle, you can let go of L1, and now just press up or down on your directional pad. That is now how you change your radio frequency to whatever frequency you want. And once again, whenever you see on the left-hand side it says platoon chat, that means you're talking to everybody on your team. When it goes back to 39, that's just my squad. So that's basics for communications. Now I'll show you real quick since I'm here. Obviously, I am not a sergeant. There's not enough supplies, but as I was stating, as you can see here, I have to be at least a sergeant in order to call in a transport chopper, or a lieutenant in order to call in a gunship. Now, how do you call in AI? Well, back at the command tent, like I showed you, you would build living quarters. This is a living quarters. You would come, and on the side of one of the tents at the living quarters is this board here, which, once again, you have to be sergeant, but you would hold square, and you would be able to call in AI, artificial intelligence, to help guard your base. Now, you can only call in so many of them. At most bases, it's like a groups of 2. So whichever you think's best, like a grenade team, a fire support team, or a machine gun team, would be the best. So that is the basics for Arma Reforger if you're just getting into it. There's a lot more. I didn't get into everything, but these are the very basic things you need to know to hop in and start gaming with your friends and not piss off the entire lobby, frankly. If you like this video, go and give it a like. If you need more information or want me to do another video on something else, leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to go ahead and address those issues. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a great day, great week, great month, great year. This is the pod out.